While we marked Veterans Day earlier this week, there are organizations throughout the country whose mission is honoring those who've served year-round. One such group is Folds of Honor, a nonprofit that provides scholarships for the families of fallen and disabled military members, along with first responders, awarding 62,000 educational scholarships since its founding 17 years ago. And while the group says its no partner in its mission is too big or too small, there is one whose size is undeniable: the Budweiser Clydesdales. We paid a visit to the pride of Missouri to find out more. This is how most of America thinks of the Budweiser Clydesdales. Iconic stars of Anheuser-Busch Super Bowl spots. Standing at more than 6 feet tall and weighing up to 2,200 pounds, the Clydesdales' upbringing and care is a military operation of sorts.
So this is the maternity ward.
Amy Trout oversees it all.
This is where we welcome all the Budweiser Clydesdales into the world.
From the very start.
So these stalls are supersized,
Yeah.
because we have super big babies here.
What do they weigh when born?
So they're like 150 pounds when they hit the ground. We actually had one this year that topped the scales 189 pounds.
Oh my, Shack. You should call that one Shack. For 22 years, Trout has helped breed, raise, and train Clydesdales.
This is Millie and Meg.
Their home, the 300-plus acre Warm Springs Ranch in the heart of Missouri. What are you looking for when you're looking to breed?
We actually run DNA on all of our horses, so we know genetically what colors they will throw, but we also need them to perform. So when you see those guys just pounding the pavement, they got a little extra pep in their step. They got a little flair. They're flashy, right? Well, we can breed that into them.
Are they on a hitch for a certain amount of time, or is
So, in a perfect world, we would welcome them to the hitch at 5 years of age, and we would retire them at 15. So that gives them 10 years of active service. But these horses are athletes, and just like any athlete, they may have shorter or longer careers. They can't all have, decades and decades.
They might be LeBron, they might not.
Yeah, exactly.
Tom Brady, maybe not.
So we cater to each individual horse's needs, and if it's time for them to retire, they retire. If they're good to go, then they'll stay out on the road.
And it's on the road where these gentle giants may do their best work, like at Folds of Honor events around the country. A nonprofit organization providing scholarships for military and first responder families.
Perfect, thank you.
Folds of Honor would not be where we're at without Anheuser-Busch, and especially the world's famous Clydesdales. I mean, we get to be...
No better pitch person.
I mean, it's incredible.
Rocky Sickman has worked with Folds of Honor for the last 14 years. A former Marine, Sickman was one of the 66 Americans captured in the 1979 Iran hostage crisis.
I was held for 444 days, and it was 2 Thanksgivings, 2 Christmases. The first 30-plus days, you were tied, not allowed to speak other than your interrogations. It was very challenging, and so it was really a mental, psychological piece.
What do you remember about when you were released and got out?
That night of January 20th, 1981, they came into our room, and whenever they moved us, they would always say, "It's time to go," and they would blindfold us and then tie us. Well, this night, they would blindfold us, but never tied us. And I'm thinking, this is strange. Where are we going? All of a sudden, he takes me down the corridor, stops me, turns me, opens the door, and I felt this cold, fresh air, the simple things that we take for granted. And you heard this sound, a sound that you had prayed for, you had cried for, you had hoped for, sound of an airplane. And you heard the jets start to rev up, and your heart is pounding. You had prayed for this opportunity, just for one last chance to enjoy life again.
A chance Sickman and his fellow hostages would get. After returning home, he learned the details of Operation Eagle Claw, a failed mission to rescue the hostages 8 months before their release.
2 of our American aircraft collided on the ground.
8 people lost their lives trying to come over to regain my freedom.
And those people have played a huge role in your life from that point ever since.
Ever since. Every morning I wake up, I think of those 8 that sacrificed their life for my life. I've got 3 beautiful children. I've gone fishing with my son. I walk my daughters down the aisle. Those are the things that these guys would never have the chance to do.
It is in their honor that Sickman has continued devoting his life to service, including projects like the partnership between Folds of Honor and Anheuser-Busch.
For Folds of Honor to be part of the Clydesdale hitch this year, we can't buy advertising like that, right, Dana. So it's really it's an honor.
Slide that over his head.
It's kind of heavy. Sorry, Rock On, forgive me. I'm new at this.
Oh, he's an old pro. He'll get us through it. There we go. Perfect.
All right.
Chris Weigert, a Clydesdale handler, showed me what it takes to get these legendary horses ready for showtime.
Do they like doing the work?
They do.
Being on the hitch and pull it, like this is part of who they are.
When we start hitching them, getting the harness on, you can see their demeanor change, and they're excited to do what they do. And when the crowd's there, they get energized and amped up. So you can tell that they're ready to do their job and they enjoy it.
And you can see like that they can feel the crowd.
Yes, they feed off of that.
Oh, that's awesome.
All right, boys, rock on.
Give me a little history lesson here, because obviously we're in the new era, but this goes back to the 1930s, the Clydesdales?
You know, the Clydesdales were introduced in 1933 when they were gifted to August Busch Sr. to celebrate the repeal of Prohibition. And we're part of a lot of things in American culture, and we're just proud to be part of that.
The training process, what is that like for them?
Oh, so, when they're born, we're just going to kind of hang out in the pasture with mom until they're weaned at 6 months. Right. Then when they're 3, they're going to come back to Warm Springs Ranch and learn to pull wagons. And they're going to be here for a whole year doing that to give them that foundation to hit the road and be a crowd pleaser.
Only then is it time to serve, honoring their own magnificence and that of those around them.
You know Anheuser-Busch so well, and the project that they're doing now with the military.
Oh.
Why is that the right fit?
I think there's nothing more American than Budweiser, the Clydesdales, Folds of Honor. It all fits together just like one giant puzzle. These horses are recognized all over the world. Budweiser beer is recognized all over the world, and the Folds of Honor program is so amazing, and it's wonderful to be a part of it. So it definitely hits home for all of us.
Yeah. Oh, I wouldn't want to give them up.
I know, right? She's so cute. Oh, easy girl.
You heard everybody say it, best pitch horses, I guess, not
Yeah.
people out there, because they are so majestic in person. I cannot explain it to you.
You can't say one without the other.
Yeah, exactly.
Branding
A great
personified.